Last section of Unit 1 is Part 2 of 1.4. And this is on ratio. So a ratio is when we are comparing two quantities. But here's the important thing about them. They have to have the same units, as in comparing kilometers to kilometers, minutes to minutes, weeks to weeks. We will do an example like that. Let's just first say we can write a ratio in 3 ways. The most common way is as a fraction. So 5 over 10 is actually comparing 5 to 10, like 5 males to 10 females. And you can obviously simplify it just like you do with a fraction. For every 1 male, there are 2 females. You can write them next to each other using the colon. In other words, you would write it like that, and you could still simplify it, and you would read it 5 to 10, 1, 2, 2. But as you read it, you can also write it with a 2 in it. So you can write, compare 5 to 10. The ratio 5 to 10 is equivalent to the ratio 1 to 2. Right. Let's do an example where we're going to show how you need the same units. If I ask you to compare 50 minutes to 2 hours, then you've got to say not the same units. Therefore, I have to make them the same units. So the 2 hours I would change to 120 minutes. So then I'm comparing 50 minutes to 120 minutes. And I can simplify that. So 50 minutes to 2 hours is the same ratio as 5 to 12. Or you can write it 5 to 12. Often we need to divide in a given ratio. Okay, and this particular example I'm going to do is one where you can't write the ratio in the fraction form. Divide in a ratio, what often happens is if a number of people start a business together, but they don't all put up the same starter capital. So then obviously your profit, you want to divide it according to the amount of starter capital that each person gave. So the example I'm going to do is divide 180, and we're going to divide it amongst 3 people, so in the ratio 2 to 3 to 4. And this ratio we can't write as a fraction. We're still going to use fractions here though, but that the minute you've got more than two things you're comparing, you cannot write it as a fraction. Right, my steps in doing this sum. First you look at your ratio and you add those values. So you're going to say the total number of parts are 9. Person number 1 gets 2 of those parts. So 2/9 of 180. That person gets 40 rand or whatever these things are. The second one is 3/9 times 180. And the last one is 4/9 times 180. And just check that when you add these, they should still add to your 180. So you must have used it all up. Okay, last example, we're going to show you how to increase or decrease. In a particular ratio. So instead of increase or decrease as a percentage in a ratio, it's very, very simple. So increase 50 rand in the ratio 3:2. You're simply going to do 50 times 3/2, and remember your rand sign with your answer, 75 rand. So as long as your numerator is bigger than your denominator, it will automatically increase. Decrease, again 50 rand. In, let's say, in the ratio 3:4. So if you do 50 times 3/4, can you see the numerator is smaller than the denominator? Your answer will be less than 50. What you will get as an answer is 37.5. But it was rands. So if we write this as rands, you cannot write 37.5 rands. You have to write 0.50 to get it as rands and cents.